Hello everyone and welcome back to Knight of the Blackwaters. My name is Ben and we're going to watch round 1 of Swiss from the Battles of Summerhall 3 in Aldershot, run by Martin Lewis, who does a fantastic job of running these events. On the left we have Dave Camford, who's playing Tyrell, Banner of the Lion, and up against him we have Ashley, who's playing Free Folk. I'm completely ignoring the Baratheon stuff, whatever gender when Free Folk play, because to me, they're just Free Folk. We have the setups, and we have a Garden Caretaker, a Joffrey, and the Arbor against a Ygritte, a Rattleshirt's Raiders, and an Ocean Road. So on to the first plot phase here. This is the first of 5 rounds of Swiss, and then cut to top 8. There is a competition for us to give away some stuff Martin gave me for you lovely listeners. So that's probably going to go on to the next video or video 3. So do keep an eye out for that. We have Winter Reserves into Trading with the Pentoshi. And Dave is picked to go first. Ashley getting his free power from obviously the reaction on Trading with the Pentoshi. And Dave's got a Mahusa 13 power.
On this windowsill, there's a box of results slips. I'm actually going to play a game with Dave, so
Now we had, I believe 26 players in total, which was a very good turnout. This is the week before Worlds, so up to, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, is it Darak's Pit is legal? I'm probably butchered that one. Basically, what's it? Daggers in the Dark. The last pack of the cycle is not legal yet. Came out a few days after this. So this is effectively the Worlds meta. And we have some pretty good players there. A couple of people going to Worlds and a couple of people trying out decks for other people going to Worlds. So hopefully you'll see a nice variety of good and interesting decks. Marge is Tinder Marge brought into play after the Garden Caretaker's knelt for only 5 gold. And she gets a dupe from the A Lady in Waiting. This seems possibly a bit like an older style deck. I still think it's pretty good, but okay, so Dave just double checking his gold there. So he's have 8 gold left. So I'll say Ashley there wrapping the lovely playmat from the Siege of Winterfell, which is the Scottish leg of the Road to Starlock. I wasn't 100% sure about the mat when I first saw it, but having seen it in the flesh, it is a very nice mat. A good generic mat, and the great thing is you can play it both ways. So whichever faction you're repping, you can put it to the top. Yeah, good work on that one, guys. We also have a Screaming Scepter brought in there, and Dave's out of goals. I can't remember said after Jaime Lannister was put into play. Which would be quite good here, because obviously you can use them to attack and then defend without needing to defend against this wildling onslaught. We have a second Ocean Road brought into play. Both of them are knelt, and we see the Frozen Shore. We're not sure what this one does, because it's not seen that common play. If you kneel it when you win a challenge with attacking wildlings, and you can stand as many attacking wildlings as are winter plots in play. We then have Rattleshirt, and we have a Wildling Scout brought into play. So that's the both neither players have any gold left. We have a military from Jaime, which you may go unopposed here. Yeah, it does go unopposed indeed. And you think the Wildling Scout is going to be taking his claim? Looks like it. And indeed he is. The Scheming Septum, which is a nice little cheap throwaway, and then you jump them back to hand to draw a card and obviously gain 2 gold to do other shenanigans. Been quite enjoying using those since coming back. And actually, unfortunately, that is unopposed. And we have another Wildling Scout discarded for claim. So that's 2 of the potential 3 out the way already. So Joffrey went to the power challenge, and then Dave decides not to. Personally, I think he should have gone into the power challenge there. You can't defend from Rattleshirt anyway. So unless you have a treachery to stop the Frozen Shore from working, you can't defend. There's going to be one of the challenges you can't defend. So to me, it seems like you might as well have try defending that. So I tried attacking that, just getting the extra power now before he potentially dies for a Mars trigger. So we have a power challenge coming in from Rattleshirt, which then is stood with the Frozen Shore. And taking the claim, and then choosing Intrigue. So that's an interesting choice. I imagine that's because you don't want a Mars trigger at this point. So, which makes me think Dave probably definitely should have attacked with him, but never mind. We have a copy of the Arbor taken for claim, which I'm sure Dave's not too disappointed with. As always, guys, I'd like to point out I just give my views. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I would have done. You know, I'm not exactly winning worlds, so I just want, you know, just kind of giving some insight. So we have an Intrigue from AGOT, selfing Mars, which Sir Jamie defends. And then we're going to see the military. I kind of think not with only one claim. So Scheming Scepter is going to be put back on top of the deck to draw a card and gain 2 gold. And Ashley's not going to do any more challenges. So Dave takes Dom, and we're sitting at 3 power to 2 after round 1. Okay, so we have the long winter into a time of plenty. Ashley has to lose a power because of the plot. Obviously, Dave doesn't because he's got a summer plot. Draw 3 cards, and we see an all men of fools and the shadows Queen of Thorns played out there, which is interesting. She has the reaction after you win a challenge in which she is participating. Choose a card you control in Shadows and put it into play. She also has Stealth and Shadows for herself. Be interested to see if maybe this is obviously it's just there for the Stealth, or if there's actually some Shadows cards in here. Obviously we've seen the Screaming Septum, but I wouldn't exactly say the Screaming Septum is a fantastic Shadows card. You wouldn't bring out Shadows because you've already paid the 2 gold to do it. Anyway, we have a Vow brought into play on Ashley's side, and that looks like about it. Oh no, Rose Red, of course, and we have the Queen of Thorns brought into play with a dupe. So if you don't know, Vow is when she is attacking, you can put a wildling character into play, Nelt, attacking with her. So a good way of getting some extra characters on the board on the cheap. And then we have the Scheming Septum also brought back into play. And oh, a card in Shadows. Okay, so that means obviously potentially why there's interesting to see what that card is. So David immediately going to use the Scheming Septum there to gain 2 gold and to draw a card. We can see he drew a Superior Claim, so potentially this must be some sort of rush deck you would figure. So we have an intrigue challenge. We're from AGOT and Val, bringing in a Wildling Scout. And that is going to stealth Marge. So we're interested to see if there's any defense here. As for 9, so that goes unopposed. Claim a 2 intrigue here. And that is a superior claim. I did not see what the other card was. We're going to have 2 military claim though from the wildling reaction. And we're going to kill Joffrey, triggering Marge. I believe that was Clever Feint. Any of the faction cards choose any number of cards you control, any number of cards you control in shadows. Return each of these cards to shadows. Control with shadows, sorry. So that's interesting. Seems like an interesting build here from Dave. So Lancel is brought out with the Mars trigger, who's now going to be strength 5 because he has the same strength as another. As long as there's only one Lannister Lord or Lady, he has their strength, which obviously in this type of deck is great. He's also a nice cheap Lord for Marge. The one I wonder is maybe Sir Gregor's in the deck, and whether it'd be worth bringing him out to try and put some pressure on the Wildlings. So claim a 2, hit another military here, claim a 2, killing, well, choosing both Marge and the Queen of Thorns, obviously taking their dupes off. It should be pointed out, both of these two play each other a lot, so they probably know what resets they're running and what other bits they've got. So then we get the unopposed power challenge. So Ashley's now up to 6 power. Actually, Dave's down to 1, but renown on Jamie helps there, or power gained. So we have a power challenge and an all men are fools to gain 2 more power. So that's going to be a big jump in power here after the claim and the renown on Marge. So that's 7 power. Intrigue from Queen of Thorns. We're going to see the trigger to get that card out of shadows. It does not look like it. Last of the Giants is taken for claim. I wonder what that shadows card is. I so imagine Clever Feint is a way of getting around your own reset or your potential opponent's reset, like putting the Queen of Thorns back into shadows. Or other cards when you think it's going to be, when you're on a wildfire, or if you think there's going to be a first snow, or you've seen a first snow, or Valor, you potentially think Valor's coming. Either of them. So on to the third plot phase, and we have the Wardens of the South into the Winds of Winter. Dave just double checking there, but he has way more power than Ashley, so he has to go first. Ashley getting 5 power, 5 gold because of Winter Reserves, upping the gold on this plot by 1. And we have the 2 Ocean Rose note for a Della. And I'm pretty sure the reaction from her was to draw a card. It looks like he drew a dupe with that, so immediately throws that down. We have Renly put into play for all of Dave's gold. So it's going to have to weather a bit of a storm here. Oh, there's a Nightmares in hand. We can see that on Marge. Yes, indeed we are on Marge. So Marge is now Nightmares. So this military claim is going to sting quite a bit. The military is unopposed because obviously you need to have an attachment to defend from Rattleshirt. And Ashley there goes to get the 2 power. Dave immediately goes to the military, which does come next, saying you're going to do it anyway. So Lancel dies, and I guess the Queen of Thorns dies, but you're about to lose 2 more characters anyway. And I think Dave realises he's in a bit of trouble now. And the military is going to go unopposed. So I assume you're going to kill... I assume Jamie and Renly are going to die here. Indeed they are. And there you go, an intrigue with the stealthing Marge with the Northern Refugees being brought into play. 1 unopposed power, so Ashley's now up to 10. And Dave's big lead has all just disappeared. And we have a Treachery and a Brienne discarded from play. We have a power which is opposed, putting Dave up to 6 power. And then Ashley wins Dom, going up to 11 power. This is looking like it's probably all over now. The attrition has eaten away at Dave's board. And we have a you win or you die into Wildfire. So Ashley's going to go first again. Wildfire is going to kill the Northern Refugee, the Rattleshirt Raider, and an Ygritte. 2 cards there from You Win or You Die. And Ashley's drawn no characters, going to concede. Unfortunately, he got the crown, so he gets defended. But oh well. But well done there to Ashley. Bad luck to Dave. And come back next time for round 2 of Swiss. And as always, guys, it has been emotional.